Woo! What's really good though? I've been waiting to talk about this. I've been waiting to talk about this episode 4 since like last Friday or some shit. Episode 4, bruh. This is one of the best episodes of Game of Thrones ever. Game of Thrones episode 4, Spoils of War. Let's talk about it, man. Woo! Fire and blood, baby. This is what I've been waiting on since the damn first episode to see these damn dragons unleashed for real. We saw a little bit. We wanted to see what happens when they meet those Lannisters, and damn it, we got that answer. Fuck. But yes, subscribe to my channel at Loch121. That's LOCH121. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere that you can follow people at, except for to my house. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. So yes, this episode did leak, and that's unfortunate. But now it is out, and we gonna talk about this shit. Damn, this shit was fire. No pun intended. Drogon, bruh. That's just Drogon by himself, bruh. So, woo, I can't wait to talk about this one, man. Boom. Jaime and Bronn, they're talking after they took over Highgarden. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about, you know, how Bran still hasn't got all the shit that he was supposed to get for basically turning on Tyrion. This is viral Munchies, and this is the shit that conjures those Munchies. So yeah, man. So they had Highgarden. The gold did get back. It's been sent off to the King's Landing already at this point. So now, yeah, and Bronn wants the rest of his money. He was promised a wife and a castle, and he didn't get that. All right. So Randall and Dickon, I should say, Dickon, tell Jaime that they're getting the food, because they are stealing the food from the Reach as well, from farmers in the Reach, because they need food. Jaime tells Bronn to help, you know, basically strong arm those farmers to give up that shit. Cersei has another meeting with the Iron Bank guy. I think his name is Tycho or something like that. And she tells him the gold is on the way. And now the new plan is to lock down the 7 kingdoms again. She wants to invest in armies and navies, and she got the Golden Company, which is a company, I believe, started by the Blood Raven's brother, actually. It is a seltzer company. It's the best seltzer company, kind of like what the Faceless Men are. And yes, so she's gonna hire them, and she says she wants to recover something. I think that everything Cersei wants to recover has to do with people who killed her children. So that only leaves people who she feels killed Joffrey. Lady O is dead. She thinks Tyrion did. I keep on thinking she still wants Tyrion's ass. So we'll see. Hopefully she won't get him, but I think that she wants Tyrion bad. So yeah, they're waiting for the gold to arrive. Now, Littlefinger, Baelish, gives Bran the cat's paw dagger, which is the dagger used by the assassin who tried to kill him after Jaime had pushed him out of the building or whatever. And this was funny. Baelish talking about, yeah, I wish I could have basically died for Catelyn. I could have stood in front of that blade, whoop-de-woo. And then he says that Littlefinger says, you know, it must have been crazy coming back to all of this chaos in the world. And Bran says, with the blankest, scariest face, chaos is a ladder. And that shit bugged Baelish out. That was a private conversation between him and Varys in Varys or whatever, in like season 1, where he said that chaos is a ladder. It's a pretty often quoted Baelish quote. So yeah. So yeah, this bugs Baelish out. Baelish like, okay, Lord. Brandon's like, I'm no Lord. Mira walks in and she's all like, yeah, so I gotta go. And Brandon's all like, and she's like, you know, you don't need me anymore. And Brandon's like, you're right, I don't need you no more. And she like, damn, motherfucker, everybody died for you. My brother, the motherfucking Hodor, everybody died for you, and you don't give a fuck. And he like, I'm not Brand anymore. I have left. Brand is totally Dr. Manhattan. As somebody on the ill community said, they call him Dr. Brand Hatton. And from now on, I'm gonna call him that. Dr. Brand Hatton is Brand's name. Okay. So yes, that was very scary though, how he talked to Baelish. He definitely knocked Baelish off of his square with that shit. I ain't even gonna lie to you. He bugged him out. Bugged him out with that shit. All right. So there's a lot of things to get into in this fucking in this episode. But this was definitely one of the most funniest scenes in this show when he said that, bruh. So Mira is disgusted. Next, we see a beautiful scene where we see Arya pull up and she's looking at Winterfell and it looks pretty. She's on horseback. It's dope. She goes up to the gate. The guards don't know who she is. She like, I'm Arya Stark. They're like, whatever. Eventually, she like, look, just invite me in because if I am Arya, you're gonna be in trouble. So they invite her in. They arguing about who's gonna go up there to talk to Sansa. And in the midst of that, Arya disappears. So then they go tell Sansa, and Sansa is like, I know where she is. So she meets Arya in the crypts. And she like, should I call you lady? And Sansa was like, yes. And then she started laughing and they hug. And Arya says, you need better guards, which she does. It should be better guards there. Come on now, this is Stark set. Get that Stark set right. You know what I mean? So I'm like, facts on that. And she said, you know, Jon isn't there, but if Jon was there, his heart would stop, which is funny because Jon's heart already stopped when he got stabbed in it about 50 times by the Night's Watch or whatever. So they look at Ned's statue, and it's a lot like that Beyonce wax museum, where they're like, that just does not look like Ned. And so then they talk, and she's like, I heard you killed Joffrey. And Sansa's like, no, I didn't kill that fuck nigga. And so then she says, you know, she was starting to hear somebody else killed him because he was on the list. And Sansa like, you know, what list? And she's like, the list of people I'm gonna kill. And Sansa laughs, not knowing that Arya is dead ass serious. She gonna murk some motherfuckers some more. And they, you know, they catch up a little, speak about how their journeys was hard or whatever. And they say, Arya says, you know, their story isn't over yet. So then Sansa tells Arya that Bran is back. So they go out to the Weirwood, and Bran is there, all emo and bugged out, looking like he'd been doing shrooms and shit all night. And he says, I saw you at the crossroads. And she like, yeah, saw me? How did you see me? And he like, I thought you went to King's Landing. So he didn't see what happened after she came to the crossroads, evidently. Sansa asks, why would Arya go to King's Landing? And Bran replies because Cersei is on her list. So now she knows that list is real. And she's like, who else is on your list? You know what I'm saying? And Bran said, Littlefinger gave him that dagger. And Sansa says that he wants something. And Bran says it doesn't matter. He's a cripple. He doesn't want it anyway. And he gives it to Arya. So that's Chekhov's gun. That dagger must be used for something. Yeah. So Brienne sees all three of the Stark kids, and it looked great, man. Sansa, Arya, Bran, and she smiles, and then she says basically Pod congratulates her, like this is what Caitlyn dreamed of type of thing. And he calls her my lady. She was like, I really ain't do shit. Which she really didn't. Was she protected Sansa, but she didn't make this happen per se. She did get Arya away from the Hound. So, so, so Brienne, and so Pod is like, calls her my lady, and she starts to correct him, like, I'm not a lady, and she stops and just says, thank you. Yeah, they're real cute. So, caught that background slipping. So, Masande tells Danny that there's no word from the Unsullied, and Danny asks what happened with Grey Worm, and she's like, many things, and Danny is like, hee, many things, whatever, girl talk. So John and Danny go into the caves, and he shows her the children of the forest carvings. This is a lot like the pyramids and the Egyptians. So he shows her that there was a war with the White Walkers, and the first man and the children banded together and they fought. And you see symbols such as the circle that the bodies were in the very first episode. I believe it's called the Eye of God or something like that. There's videos about the symbols. So, and Danny, she believes, I think she really does believe, and she says, you can't defeat the White Walkers without my army and my dragons. And she's like, I'll fight for you, Joan, and the North, as long as you bend the knee, bitch, nigga. Oh! So we don't see what happens. I don't know. He might have bent that knee. I don't know. So he says his people won't accept it, and she says, this is more important than your pride, and that's what he told Mance Rayder before they barbecued his ass at one point. So they walk out. They come out, and Tyrion and Varys tell Danny about Casterly Rock and how the fucking Unsullied are stranded. And then Danny is getting pissed, yo. Danny is gangster, yo. So anyway, she's pissed. She like, I've lost all my allies. We ain't got no food because all the food in the reach is gone. She is barking on Tyrion like, that's your family. Maybe you don't want to hurt them. And so she looks at her dragons. She's like, man, let's do this. Fuck all this clever shit. Let's do this. Fuck clever plans. Let's do it. Enough with the clever plans. Let's do this. So she wants to fly to the Red Keep. She's like, man, my enemy's in the Red Keep. Let's go. Let's rock. So Tyrion is like, no, dude, chill out. And she's like, fuck you. And she asks Jon, and Jon tells her, don't go burning innocent people, burning castles and melting castles and burning cities. If you do that, you're no different. It's just more of the same. So boom, we see back to Winterfell, and we see Brienne and Podrick training, and she is kicking his ass as usual. Arya walks up, cocky as ever. She's like, I want to spar with you. What up? And Brienne says, I'll find Master Vance to play with your little ass. And no, Arya's like, you swore to Caitlyn, I want to train with you. Whoop-de-whoop. So they start training, and this is one of the best sword fights, even though we live in a real fight in Game of Thrones. So I'm going to give you the play-by-play on this one. I ain't even going to just vaguely. So, okay. Fucking, first of all, off the rip, Arya had her. She gets her, has the sword to her face. Boom. At this point, you see Brienne a little like, oh, okay. Boom. Arya is dancing. She dancing. She's fucking Muhammad Ali. She's doing that water shit. She whoops. She's whop. Very impressed. Podrick is impressed. She hits Brienne's leg with the sword. Brienne kicks her dead in the chest. She fly back, and you're like, damn, is Arya hurt? She jump up like a ninja. She just does the circle back, jump up off the ground. Whoop, whoop. She's like, what's up? Yeah. So she does that. And then you hear that good music. Whatever that Winterfell music is, I love that music. You know what I'm saying? So they going at it. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. After the kick, that's when it got real brutal. So they eventually, after she's doing her dancing, they're doing this, Brienne knocks the sword from her hand. She looks at it. Brienne goes for the hit. She got that claw's paw dagger. So she goes, catches Brienne's hand, boom, they both at a stalemate, but they both could have got each other. So Arya is a beast. This whole time, no, Baelish and Sansa are watching this go on. And I can't really figure out Sansa's thoughts. Baelish looks kind of impressed but worried. Sansa kind of ain't giving off emotion, looks kind of worried, but Sansa's slick. So she really ain't give off to emotion. It was a worried, maybe like, damn, my sister is in some shit. She knows some shit. She's been through some shit. She's a warrior, but she could be thinking my sister is a killer, and I need to get rid of some people, preferably this fuck next to me. So yeah, Arya ass is a monster. Arya is a beast, bruh. Arya went at it with Brienne, and arguably she could beat Brienne of Tarth. You're not feeling me, bro. Brienne, fucking beast, man. Arya is the shit, bro. All right, and I love that music, man. I love that music. I loved it so much. And Littlefinger looked at the end. He looked disturbed, like, oh shit. All right, so next we see Jon and Davos. They talking to Jon, and he's talking to Jon and says, you know, what do you think about Dany? And he like, she got a good heart. And Davos is like, I seen you staring at that heart. Ooh, nasty. Jon is like, you know, I ain't got time for no pussy. Davos asks, you know, should we call him King Jon or King Snow? They killing me with this, what to call Jon shit. So Missandre asks, why is his name Snow? And he explains that he's a bastard. And she explains there's no marriage where she's from, which is north. And so there is no bastards. And they ask how she became a slave. She got kidnapped. And they basically are asking about Dany and say, she's like, look, we chose Dany because we believe in her. And they like, what if you wanted to leave? She's like, she would give me a shit and I can go home, which is probably true. That's real. So Davos says, would you forgive me if I switch sides? And I think that everybody is thinking that right now, no matter what sides you want. I can't lie, them Targs is looking good, baby. I can't lie to you, them Targaryens looking good. So, but Jon meets Theon at the beach. Theon arrives at the beach. And long story short, Theon like, yo, I want to get Arya. Jon is like, you fuck ass nigga. I should kill you. But if it wasn't for what you did for Sansa, you would be a dead motherfucker right now. And but he doesn't kill him. He just grabs him up. And Theon asks where the queen is, and he says, you know, the queen is gone. And Theon asks, where did she go? And then you know that it's on and popping from that conversation. That it's on because we saw the trailers. The mega trailer already showed Jaime charging a dragon. So, and then the promo showed Dany on her dragon and sang enough with the clever plans. So you kind of had to know that Dany was gonna do something with these dragons in this episode. So next you see fucking the Lannisters, the Lannister army and the Sam's father, Randall Tarly army, and they're chilling after beating the people at the Reach, after taking over High Garden. They're chilling and they're just talking. And, you know, they're talking about how the gold has already reached High Garden. A lot of people thought that Dany would stop that. She did not stop that. So the Iron Bank will get their money and the Lannisters will pay their fucking debt. And I hate that. And this is where another Rickon joke comes in. I love that. And so, boom, the Bronn hears a noise. And he hears it and they start getting in formation. And oh boy, this is one of the best battles I've ever seen in Game of Thrones history. Oh my God, it goes down. It's fire and blood. It goes down the way you've been waiting. We're in the playoffs, baby. This may be a pregame, but we in the playoffs, baby. This ain't the finals. This the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The land, so they get ready and get in formation, and then you see the motherfucking Darth Rocky, and they're coming in, and it looks like how the White Walkers came in at the beginning of the season as a storm. It's like the opposite. It's like a firestorm, a dust storm instead of a snowstorm. The Darth Rocky, they come in, they're like Indians or some kind of fucking, what I would imagine Middle Eastern Muslim wars would be like. And they come in and they are fucking these motherfuckers up. And lo and behold, here comes Danny on the dragon, the Drogon, add insult to injury, and she just starts burning the fuck out of these niggas. She is mowing them down, and this burns and incinerates them into ashes. Bruh, whole brigades is getting tossed. You see in the Darth Rocky, they're in formation. They're jumping on, they're on their horses, jumping on one leg, shooting arrows in formation, looking like some kind of water polo or water ballet, man. They're jumping off horses on the people, stabbing people. The archers, they shoot the dragon, but his chest just breaks all of that, breaks all of the regular arrows. So that does nothing to Drogon at all. Danny is on top. Scene looks great. It looks way more believable than the last time she flew that dragon, man. It looks great. Danny is looking crazy. She looks like a fucking mad woman. You know, that Targaryen coming out, man. That mad queen kind of coming out. So, boom. Fucking Jamie tells Bronn to go and get the scorpion. And he's like, why you don't do it, bitch? And he's like, because I only got one hand, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Which reminded me of like Coming to America, like when the store got robbed and dude was like, I would have helped, but I had a cup of coffee, man. Anyway, so Bronn is going to the scorpion at Jamie's request. And so Dickon saves Jamie from about to be getting killed. Bronn is on his horse, and the Darth Rocky catches him and cuts his damn horse ankle. So Bronn is on the ground. He's running away from the Darth Rocky, and Bronn finally gets to where the scorpion, which is the weapon to kill the dragons, made by Qyburn, whatever his fucking name is, Qyburn. And he goes in there, and the Darth Rocky opens up the thing, and he shoots his ass. So then the people you still seeing fighting, it's fires everywhere. Drogon is still burning motherfuckers up more than Usher this week. I mean, it's going down. It's going down in a major way. This is what we're here for, baby. I'm here for the dragons and shit. So yeah, people are getting fucked up. So you see that Tyrion is there on the sidelines talking to a Darth Rocky, and he is talking hella shit like, man, your people can't fight for shit, bro. Your people some hoes. Your people can't fight. Tyrion looks really conflicted. He's looking at this. So Bronn got the scorpion. It's tense. He got the scorpion. He's trying to hit this motherfucker. Danny is facing off. And she's looking, Bronn should be dead. She really should have just shot. She should have just let Drogon kill Bronn, but I guess she knows that Bronn is a major character and has more time, more episodes to go. So she doesn't just shoot his ass up with fire and incinerate his ass. I don't know. So finally he lines it up, sends an arrow or whatever. Pow! It hits Drogon in the shoulder. Brrr, man down, man down. Drogon is floating. He's going down. You see Danny, she's painting this shit. And then he's floating, but Danny kind of gets control, and they land close to the scorpion, and he burns the fuck out that shit. And then the rest of it, he hits with his tail like, you bitch ass nigga. Like Drogon got personality, yo. He was like, man, fuck God, fuck you, nigga. So now we're going to the final scene. We're going into the final scene, man. Danny, after she destroys the scorpion, you see Bronn, he survived, he's on the ground. And you see Danny land safely, and she's trying to take the spear out of Drogon's shoulder. At this time, you see Jamie, he's on his horse and he's looking. And so then you see Tyrion, he's like, flee, you idiot. He's like, you fucking idiot. Jamie rushes Danny. He grabs a spear, he's on horseback, and he's rushing towards Danny and the dragon. And then he gets up close to Danny, and the dragon immediately turns around, opens his mouth. You see the fire coming out. Danny's behind the dragon. He's protecting Danny. And boom, oh my God, he fires straight at Jamie. But boom, what appears to be Bron, I'm sure it's Bron, tackles him off the horse and knocks him into some water before the flames can catch him. And the last scene is Jamie sinking to the bottom of this water with armor on. Cutscene. Game of Thrones. Woo! This is what we're here for, man. We're here for the dragons, man. Yo, man, this episode was fire, literally. One of the best episodes of this show. Easily top 3 to 5. I'm saying top 3. Battle with the Bastards stands out a lot. I can't pick between these two. I feel like Battle with the Bastards may have been more epic with the scene with Jon facing off against the whole army. That scene right there, classic. But this shit, man, seeing this dragon mow these people down, man, that's only just one of them. And the Dothraki are a problem by their self. By they self, bruh. By themselves. We ain't even got the Unsullied and the 2 other dragons with us. Man, the Lannisters in trouble, but I see Cersei is a hard one. A hard one. Yeah, so yeah, a couple of questions. Let's see where we at with it. I'm wondering, you know, of course, what's gonna happen to Jamie? I don't think he's gonna die. I think that yeah, Bron, I think that him and Bron will be rescued and possibly taking capture. So, because they're not dead. So that's the only thing that could happen is that next they are rescued, and probably Tyrion will have a lot to do with that. And, you know, I don't know anything else besides that. Yeah, Cersei is still plotting. Littlefinger's days is numbered, man. Arya gave him the look of death after the sparring session with Brienne of Tarth. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Brienne asked who taught her to fight like that, and she said no one. And Brienne looked like she might have knew what that was actually. Mira is disgusted. You know what I mean? Sansa is just trying to. This reminds me of Civil War. The last battle reminds me of Civil War. I was conflicted seeing a bunch of people I like fighting each other. It was like seeing Captain America fighting with Iron Man. You know what I mean? So yeah, Bran is gonna be the man, evidently. This Jon and Danny thing is disgusting. Ugh. But they're definitely shipping it. There was vibes in that cave, man. It was serious vibes in that cave. I hope it doesn't happen. I really do. Don't fuck your Aunt Jon. Please don't fuck your Aunt Jon. Don't do it, bruh. But hey, it's the Targaryen way, they say, all day. So I don't know. Man, I know that Tyrion is having second thoughts, though, seeing people he knows burn to death. The destruction. Man, these dragons are deadly. They're deadly. I think Davos has a crush on Missandei, or whatever her name is. And I'm not mad at him. Sexy she is indeed. Yeah, man. This episode was nuts. It was nuts, man. It was nuts. This episode was literally nuts and fucking insane. You know what I mean? Fucking nuts. What is Jamie gonna think after this? So where's Theon going? What are we doing with Theon? I don't know. What are we doing with Theon? Jamie is a fucking simp, a lame, and a pussy, incest pussy whipped fuckboy. Is what he is. You are trying to kill a dragon for your sister who you have sex with. who is horrible. She's a horrible person, bro. Danny is the shit. Danny proved that she will get her hands dirty. Danny is a murderer, bro. Danny is fucking crazy, man. So yeah, that's it for me right now. This episode was amazing. I watched it at least 5 times by now, and I loved it. Where are my dragons? Where are my dragons? Woo! This episode was nuts, man. Yeah, so I'm out of here. Subscribe, 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 like, comment, share. Check out my links in my description. I do music, people. Shout to the fucking ill community. Y'all niggas is crazy in there. Shout to all my folks out there, period. Shout to all the Game of Thrones fans. I'm a fanatic Witcher. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with this action, man. But yes, subscribe, like, comment, share. Follow me at Loch121. That's LOCH121. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, everywhere. Check out my music and all that. My fucking blunt is fucked up. And I'm pissed right now because it's great. A great motherfucking, a great flavor right here. But yes, I'm gonna say it again. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. And check out my music. Check out my music videos. Check out the links in my description. And yep, as again, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in. Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 4, Spores of War. Loch, aka online, Loch121. LOCH121. Signing out.